This is the Level Up Podcast. I'm Taylor Petrinovich,
And I'm Kelley Gilster of 618 Studios.
and we are on a mission to help wedding filmmakers and photographers level up their businesses so you can make more and work less.
We want to help you confidently take your business from mainstream to luxury, and it all starts right here.
Hey, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Level Up Podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Petrinovich, joined as always by my friend, Kelley Gilster.
Hello, everybody, and Merry Christmas Eve to you all. We are so excited for this week and tomorrow. As we know, Taylor loves all of the holiday things. So, what's happening in your world over there, Taylor?
I am actually sad to see the holiday season end, as crazy as that is to say. But yeah, things are going great. So past years I've been one to decorate for Christmas on November 1st. And then by the time Christmas comes around, I'm actually totally over it. But last year and this year, I've started waiting until December 1st to actually decorate my house. So by the time Christmas comes around, I'm not sick of it because it's pretty fresh still, which I feel like for me personally, is the way to go for the future. I There's nothing sadder than waking up on Christmas morning and already being over it.
Yeah. No, I'm a December 1st decorator as well. I like keeping all the holidays kind of separate. I do feel like in movies and stuff, a lot of times when they're celebrating a scene at Thanksgiving, it seems like it leans more Christmassy. So I do get semi-inspired by that, but here in Southern California, it's not like we're walking up the driveway in our snow, in our boots and our scarves and hats and all that stuff. So it feels more fitting to decorate a little bit closer to the holiday.
Yeah, and I mean, as you know, with kids, Christmas is just so magical and so fun, and this is Levi's first Christmas, right? Yeah.
It is his first
Oh.
Christmas. It's a fun age, 7 months, for Christmas. I feel like that, April, May time is so fun with them for the holidays. That's Micah was a April baby, my oldest son, and it's fun because it's they're just starting to eat food around Thanksgiving, so they can get some, bites of things, and then Christmas is just really fun because that, 6 month to, 12 months is, one of my favorites, so, yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely the age where the wrapping paper is more interesting than the presents.
Right, yeah, and he has so many toys already from, Micah and Sloan combined that I don't know. We'll see. He'll get something special. You know what? Actually, we want to get him one of those things where because he's the third baby and he gets just set down a lot and he has to be very patient with us tending to the other two, as you probably know. We want to get him one of those things where they can walk around the house with their little toys around them.
I've seen
What's the
those,
word for
yeah.
that? Like an extra saucer or something?
I don't know. I feel like the saucer ones are stationary because it's a round disc underneath. But yeah, there's definitely the walking ones. Those are super cute. Do you remember that viral video a few years ago? Maybe during the pandemic, when everyone was just starting to work from home, and this guy, I want to say he worked in something very serious, like finance or something.
Yes,
He was
or the
doing
government.
yeah, he was doing a live news presentation, and his toddler came busting through the door in one of those, and it made all the memes.
Yeah, and wasn't his wife came running in and wasn't she had gone to the bathroom or something?
Yeah.
She didn't have pants on. Oh my gosh, too good. Those pandemic days. Those were oh my gosh.
That's
So
a fever dream.
we're still in our sip and tell series, so it's a little bit more casual, although we do have a theme for this episode. Taylor, what are you sipping on today?
Oh my gosh, thanks for asking. Just kidding. I'm actually tamping it down today. I have some chamomile tea. I feel sometimes I listen back to our podcast episodes, and I can absolutely tell by how quickly I'm talking or the pitch of my voice even, which ones I'm a little too caffeinated for. So I'm like, "You know what? Let's bring the zen for today." Um, so that's where we are.
I actually have 2 beverages myself today. I have, black coffee as always, and then I'm balancing out with some water because I definitely don't drink enough water, and so I'm just trying to set myself up for success. But I need all of the black coffee and whatever I can get because at the time of recording right now, we are in the midst of, like, transitioning our baby out of our room and out of the snoo and into, like, his own room and his own crib all while taking his arms out of his swaddle. So it's like a lot of things, and the sleep is not quite there. So I feel like my
Mm.
eyelids are like, if you're watching on YouTube right now, I'm like lifting up my eyes because they feel like they're just falling asleep on me.
I feel like some people listening to this are gonna be like, "Okay, let's get to the real content," but then others who, like, can totally relate to us are just nodding their heads because 'cause we've all been there, and it's honestly, like, just the only comfort that I can, like, give you is remember that it comes to an end and it gets easier.
That's true. Yeah, but we actually have been getting a lot of DMs from you guys about how much you've enjoyed this Sip and Tell series and how it feels so cozy and it's fun to get to know us on a little deeper level, a little less serious level, let down our professional barriers a little bit more. And so we're so glad that you loved it. We love, seeing your DMs, and we hope that you'll continue to give us feedback wherever you feel like we can improve, or things that you want to hear, or things that you're loving hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, we've said this multiple times, so we sound like a broken record, but we definitely want this to feel like a two-way street when it comes to relationship and communication. Um, and we want to absolutely hear from you. So please, please be in touch however that looks. So this week we're actually, as the year wraps up, I feel like so many of us are very, very eager to set goals for the 2025 year, whether that be in your professional life or your personal life. But I think that one step that most people tend to skip because they're just so excited for the newness of the new year coming in is we forget to reflect. We forget to really take time to digest the craziness of the 12 months that we were just going through. We forget to appreciate all of the things that we have overcome in our lives, in our businesses, and all of our accomplishments, big or small. Like, we really need to sit in that for a moment, I think, and like celebrate what we've already done because if you get into the habit of always looking to what's next and never appreciating what you've just done, then I think that you'll never find like real happiness or contentment.
Yeah.
So, that's something that like I'm personally having to be very mindful with because that's not something that comes naturally to me either.
Mm. Yeah, that's really good. So, reflecting back on your 2024 season, walk us through, Taylor, how that started. January 1st, 2024. How were you feeling about the year? How many bookings did you have for the year? Were you happy with where you were in business? Yeah, tell me everything.
Hmm. I don't remember all of the exact details, but I wanna say I had either only 1 or 2 bookings for the 2024 season heading into, like, January 1st, and, I ended up doing 7 weddings, which is great, honestly. It was at, like, my highest price point, highest average, probably highest earning year, at only 7 weddings when I've done up to, like, 18 weddings in a year, so love that. And reflecting on, I wanna say, like, the wedding season as a whole, I wanna say this is probably a year where it was more of a building year. I took some, like, discounted weddings, even though it was still at, like, the highest average I've ever done. I took some discounted weddings, to secure some planner relationships and things like that, and I feel like this is the first year where, the majority of my weddings were multi-day events, which is something that I want to nearly exclusively do, heading into 2025, 2026. So I feel like now that I have the content to share, of those weddings will be in my portfolio very clearly demonstrating multi-day coverage. I feel like it was a good year to kind of like sink my roots in.
So good. I love that.
Yeah.
A year of growth. It's so good that you bring the transparency into the fact that you did discount in order to make some moves in your business because Yes, we are huge advocates for you to know your worth and raise your prices, but not just willy nilly. It needs to come with some strategy. It needs to come with some back end business tidying. And that's everything that we do through our mastermind and our course. But yeah, there are some areas where like it makes sense on once you've recognized when it's a time to maybe give the discount for a planner whose client just doesn't really have your minimum. That's
And I
okay.
mean, we were talking about this, I wanna say, with our mastermind students a few weeks ago, and I feel like it's a really great way to illustrate the point. So, maybe it was when Lynn Easton was speaking. I don't
Mhm.
exactly remember the context, but basically she said, like, a lot of planners, especially, like, the established ones, have their go-to team. Like, they really do. So,
Yeah.
when the wedding is a big wedding for them and it's an important one with a high budget, they're going to go with the tried and true people who they know without a doubt are going to deliver not only the highest quality product, but the highest quality service possible, right? Like, it's an insurance policy for them. They have to go with what's guaranteed. But the opportunity for us as photo video or any other, honestly, vendor type, I would say, comes when, just like every other type of vendor, this planner has a wedding that maybe falls outside of their normal or their targeted scope, right? So maybe the budget is just not quite there or whatever it may be. And so those are the times when maybe this client can't afford the people that the planner usually refers. And so they will look outside of their current network and start to bring people in. And so that's when it's a great opportunity for us to offer discounts to show that we are going to offer a quality service and product and not embarrass the planner, and we're like a solid team member, because now that's a great way to kind of get into that like inner circle. So that's what happened to me. So I booked a wedding, honestly, like highly discounted. um, like way too much. It's fine. It's good because then this planner then booked me for like a $25,000 wedding next year. So like it all comes full circle and it all pays out in the long run. And I think so many people are very short-sighted with how they look at things, and they think like, oh, so and so planners photo or video team usually charges this, so I should jack up my rates to match that, when in fact that's usually going to be a miss.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I feel like I've heard of some stories recently where that was the case, and I'm like, "Dang it." You know?
I know.
Don't
I
just
think I'm
jack up
thinking of
your
the same
rates.
one.
Yes, don't just jack up your rates to feel like you need to, it's really important to stick to, I don't know, what you're currently offering. But
Yeah.
anyways, well, that's great. I
Anyways,
love that.
yeah. Yeah, and then we had just, like, kind of going, I'm, like, thinking of all my weddings, going through it. We had that crazy one that booked, like, they signed the contract literally the day before the wedding. That was, like, a wild time.
Wild.
Wild. And then I wrapped up my season with a 3-day Indian wedding, which was equally wild, but for different reasons that we're not gonna get into on the podcast.
Oh my
Um
gosh. Yep.
Yeah, so it was good. I wanna hear about your season though, because you had a fuller season than I did.
Yeah, and not by a lot. We did 11. We actually we had 10, but then we had a postponement from 2023 that ended up deciding to move forward again with planning. They had reached out to us in September of this year, and then it was actually our last wedding of the year in November. So that was great. And our season, I feel like we went into the season with a good amount of weddings. Like I remember it being a little bit stressful because we had booked so much last summer for next, February through June and July. And then we found out we were pregnant and we were like, shoot. And then that's how it all started, that crazy shooting a wedding 10 days after having a baby. This might have been, well, 2022 was nuts for everybody, right? So that was an insane season. But with 11 weddings on the calendar, for some reason, having that third baby at the same time in the midst of our crazy busy season, it was probably our craziest year ever. Um,
Yeah. I mean, from an outsider looking in, I would can only imagine. Like, I remember all the texts and phone calls we're talking about trying to figure out, like, am I gonna be able to shoot a wedding, like, literally a week before my due date? Like, well, or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Mhm.
And I can't imagine the stress.
It was very stressful. I actually have, like, so many more gray hairs this year. Like, I've noticed, like and I have all these baby hairs, so much of my hair fell out. I think 1 because of postpartum, 2 because of the stress of this year. So, 3rd kid, my hair always falls out after having a baby, but, like, this is, like, another level, and I think it was due to stress. And one of my friends pointed that out. I wouldn't even thought about it. She was like, you had a very stressful, like, postpartum. Like, you had literally 0 maternity leave." And I'm like, "Yeah, I
0.
know."
Yeah.
And then like, we literally taught a mastermind class, and then I had a baby, like, 6 hours later.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And then I remember also, like, this is how insane I am. Have you guys seen the memes where it's, like, trying to go on a vacation with your friend who's a business owner and they're like just or have you seen the picture
Like,
of the
in the
lady who's like
ocean with the
on the
laptop?
phone with the laptop in the ocean? That's literally me. I can't tell you how many people have sent that to me and they're like, this is you. So, teach the mastermind class, have the baby, move from labor and delivery to the recovery room. And I get my laptop out and I'm like, oh my gosh, I like email one of my mastermind students and I'm like, "Hi, I'm so sorry. I had a baby and I'm gonna have to postpone our one-on-one for tomorrow because I'm still gonna be in the hospital."
Unforgivable, Kelly. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
I
my
have
gosh, and then, like,
issues.
I'm recalling on yours, and then you had, like, a crazy, like, Nantucket wedding where you had to, like, fly across the country, and then you had, like, a
Yeah,
Napa wedding or, like, whatever,
2 weeks
Healdsburg, same
after,
thing.
yeah, he was 2 weeks
Yeah.
old and we, like,
Mm.
brought him up there and then there was just logistics with childcare that, like, we had to navigate, and it was a lot, but, we got through it. So happy to be on the other side, but it was a good year. Nantucket was incredible, Napa was incredible. We had some good ones. Yeah. Um, and I feel like this year is the year where it's probably my first time where I could look into the year and realize which one were my true portfolio pieces. And then I actually will say I was surprised last month. We had one that I wasn't really counting on being a portfolio piece, and it ended up being like pretty good.
I'll
It was
sneak
the
up on
couple's
you.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know, like, what it is about them. You know? It's hard to find one that, like, checks every box. So for me, the boxes that need to be checked are, like, the creative team, like, who they are they noteworthy enough, the client and their, like, energy and, like, interaction on film, and then, the design, obviously, and then, like, there's just the also outside factors, like, you could have all the great things, but then it could, like, rain, and then you don't have, like, that beautiful lighting, and it kind of, like, doesn't make your work l shine as much, but, yeah, we had this one last week at the time of recording, and I'm, like, actually really excited about it. After we record some episodes, I'm gonna be working on their teaser.
That's exciting. It's always fun to get
Yeah.
your hands on, like, fresh content.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. And then next year are we talking about next year? We're just talking about this
No.
year.
Next week, we'll
Okay,
talk about
okay, okay.
next year, guys.
Alright,
Stay
hold
tuned.
tight, guys. Yeah.
Okay, so that's weddings.
Okay.
Fabulous. So, level up was crazy also, I
Mhm.
will say. So, for those of you who may be more, green to the level up multiverse, maybe, you'll know you maybe may not know, excuse me, that in 2023, Kelly joined Level Up in January. So now we're sitting here December 2024, so we're almost 2 solid years in, to this partnership, and so I feel like last year, 2023, was, like, very much so flying by the seat of our pants. Like, we did not know, like, exactly what we were doing. Like, we were just, like, running, running, running with no clear, like, destination in mind. But I feel like this year we really, like, we had a lot of experience because we did so much in 2023 that we, like, felt more settled and secure, I feel like, and we went into the year with far more of a game plan, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. We had, like, major dates set, like, 12 months in advance.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. That felt very nice, like, looking at the calendar and being like, "Okay, well, we have this coming up in June, which means starting in April, we need to start, preparing for this," instead of, like, pulling all the all-nighters, like, "What do you wanna do next week?" Like, "Let's do this huge thing that should require 3 months of planning, but we'll do it in a week, it's fine."
Oh my gosh, we did that far too many times, but we made it work, and then I'm excited for next year because we're rolling out something really fun next month. We're gonna start the new
Yeah.
year with some fun things.
Super fun things. Stay tuned. We love the teasers, guys. We gotta keep you coming back for more week after week. Okay, so we had 2 mastermind rounds this year. We had our spring round, which ended, towards, like, the end of June, so it ran from whatever that was, like, April to June. No, yeah, to June,
Yeah, I
and then
remember
we
it
had.
ended on my anniversary, June 18th.
Oh, right. Yeah. And then we had another one in the fall that ran from September through November. And it was so fun. I mean, between those two groups, we had, about 90 students go through our program, and their wins are just rolling in. Like, we just had someone post in the one of our Facebook groups, like our private groups for our mastermind members, the other day that they just booked a $15,000 wedding. When before entering our program, they had never even booked anything in the like above 10,000 before.
Yeah.
So those wins are so fun to hear. And then actually, I was on a one-on-one with one of our students a little while ago, and that's something that I love doing too. Like, it's so fun, like, being in the group setting, but, like, sitting
Yeah.
down and chatting one-on-one it's really nice to hear, like, specifics of people's, like, journeys and stuff. But he was saying that he literally just started his business in January of this year.
What?
Yeah, and he's, like, already like, some of his packages fall into, like, the 7,000, like, mark. I'm like, "Dude, nice." Like, that's incredible.
Has he been learning so much?
Yeah, he told me that, um as soon as, like, he started, like, learning from us and implementing what he had been taught, like, some of his, like, local friends were like, "Dude, everything looks so amazing, like, you're doing killer stuff, like, what's going on?" And he's like, "It's the Level Up Co, man, you gotta join their mastermind."
Oh
That's what
my
he told me, so
gosh.
that's sweet.
That's incredible. And you know what, guys? The best way to be able to get a one-on-one and the only way to get a one-on-one with Taylor or myself is to RSVP for the next mastermind. So if you go to thelevelupco.com/RSVP, you can secure your seat and it comes with a complimentary one-on-one session while you're in mastermind with us. And we're going to be opening up the doors again in May 2025.
Yay!
Yeah.
We're excited. I know we weren't exactly sure what the future was going to bring, and we'll get into this more next week, like, in detail. But I mean, if you missed the episode a few weeks ago where we talked about this, like, we decided that people were not happy with us if we didn't do another mastermind, which is very flattering. Thank you guys. So we decided we'll, like, continue with it, and we'll do another one in May. So, um, yeah, if you missed that news, here you go. And we would love to have you join us if you have not yet been a part of it. But yeah, what a wild year. I mean, okay, rolling back, we started the year with our pricing mini course. We called it the what
The
do we
Reset
call it?
Summit.
The Reset Summit. And that was fun. That was like a 1 day, I would call it almost like an intensive or like a masterclass or something, but we spent like
Yeah.
4 hours with students, like teaching them all about our philosophy and our best practices when it comes to creating your collections, how to create custom proposals, um, consultations, like all of those things, which that is now available in our shop if you want to just like grab that and watch the replay. But that was really fun. I want to say we had like 50 or 60 students in that one. And I feel like it was such a good, like, a well-timed thing because I don't
Yeah.
know about you, Kelly, but January is usually when a lot of inquiries start like really flooding in to my inbox. And I feel like if you have that system for proposals really like at your fingertips, or your pricing has been, really revamped and like polished, when all of those inquiries flood in, I feel like that's the best case scenario. It would really suck, honestly, to get all the way through like the height of booking season and then like put some time and effort into your pricing. So I feel like that was well timed.
Yeah. It's such a good little mini course. Like I said, we talk about how to restructure your collections, how to implement proposals into your booking process, and how to basically conduct a very successful consultation. So if you go to levelupco.com/shop, you can grab that mini course in the replay, and it's so good. Um, all right, what else is new, Taylor? We
Let's
talked
maybe
about,
personal lives. So we've talked about like our film studios, level
yeah.
up. I mean, this is a wild year even on the personal side.
You talked about having a baby. What about you, Taylor? What was new, what was wild for you on the personal side?
Well, like every other person in the world, I set New Year's resolutions in January. But this year I was like serious about them.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I wanted to like this is what I called it my glow up year. I had like a list of things that I wanted to like personally like with my body like kind of
Yeah.
get handled. So I lost like 10 pounds. That was nice. I'm now like actually I'm like the same weight as I was when I got married. So that's like kind of
Amazing.
nice. Yeah. I mean, things look a little different, but I mean, 3 kids later,
After
but
3
that's fine.
kids?
That's fine. I've talked about this before, but, like, I got the Apple Watch, so I was, like, really, really intentional with, like, my step count. I actually, like, figured out, like, a self-tanning, like, routine. I found, like, a product that I really like, and I, like, have done it. I don't like it's not my daily, you know,
Right.
way I look, but for special events, like going to Hawaii or for brand photo shoots or like whatever, like special events, like
Yeah.
now I have like a great solid routine for that. And like the same with like my nail lady. I found like a really great tailor, like to have my clothes like mended.
Fitting
And then
well.
also,
Yeah.
yeah. So I feel like an adult, which
Yeah.
is so great. All of the things. So I've always struggled with just, like, admiring other people and, like, what they're doing well and have, like, never even considered that I could have that too. Like, "Oh my god, that girl's so skinny," or, "Oh my gosh, her house looks amazing," or, "Oh my gosh, like, her wardrobe is incredible." But I've never like, for whatever reason, until very, very recently, like, the last couple years, like, it's never clicked in my mind that, like, "Oh, actually, like, I'm in control of those things and I could have that too." Who thought? And so I feel like this year was that year for me. And then last December we had some like flooding situation in our downstairs.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yeah. So basically what happened is like a tree in our yard, the roots grew into like the main like sewage out from our house. And one day I was like doing laundry and all of that water had nowhere to go and it was draining. So it all came back up out of our like first floor guest bathroom toilet. And it happened 2 times, and so you can imagine the amount of water damage that was done, even though I was home, luckily, and I cleaned it up right away. So early this year, like early 2024, maybe like February, we, got new flooring. Thank God, because we ripped it out and there actually was, like, substantial mold that we had to, like, clean. Luckily, our house is on, like, a concrete slab. We don't have, like, a elevated or whatever, like, a raised foundation or anything like that, so there was no wood or anything. It was just, like, all on concrete, so I feel like that was a lot easier. But we had to, like, replace some drywall because like, the baseboards and,
Yeah.
like, it creeped up the drywall. So it was, like, a big home improvement year, and then we actually just had the exterior of our house painted, the
Oh, you
downstairs
did?
painted. Yeah, and, like, all new furniture and everything in the downstairs, so I'm feeling like I, as a person, I'm, like, very, like, "Yay, I, like, made a lot of progress." Like, our home, we made a lot of progress, and then the kids are all thriving and doing great, so I don't know. On a personal side, I feel like it was a really good year for us.
That's great. I love
Yeah.
that.
And I know you guys had, like, a lot of home projects going on too, but, I mean, you're a little bougier than me. I wish okay, so in my next round of elevation, I wanna be Kelly, because you work with, like,
Oh
an
my
interior
gosh.
designer. Your stuff is next level.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted this also to feel like my glow up year, but it didn't quite like on a personal side. So like I feel like for me 2025 is going to be like your 2024 because it's hard to do it like while you're breastfeeding, which actually I think we're coming to the end of our breastfeeding journey. Like now I'm only feeding like maybe once a day, like once in the middle of the night if he wakes up. So it's like dwindling, which is fine. I think like with my first, I did it for like 10 months, like almost a year. And then the second was like 9 or 10 months. And then Levi's like 6 months. So like it'll probably like fizzle out at like the 7 month mark, which is good because I am not the type of person that like loses a bunch of weight while they're breastfeeding. Like my body holds on to like 10 pounds for a dear life because it's like, oh, you have to feed another human. Like I'm not going to let you like lose any weight. So I'm excited to like actually have my body be my body again. You know, I think so many people are like, oh, when you're pregnant, your body's not your own. And I'm like, it's not just when you're pregnant. It's also when you're breastfeeding too. Like you really have to be mindful about like alcohol and different foods and making sure you're getting enough calories and drinking enough water and like it's a lot. And then sometimes if your baby has allergies, you have to like some
Yeah.
people have to like cut dairy or they have to like there's a lot that goes into that. It's like I feel like for those who breastfeed like beyond a year, that means that your body's not your body for like over 2 years.
I know.
It's
One of my
wild.
best friends, her son will be 3 in, like, a couple months, and she's still, like, nursing,
Oh
like,
my
once or twice a
gosh.
day, like, kind of, like, probably at the same level as you, and I'm like, "That
Yeah.
is, like hats off to you because that's a long time.
I
That's
have
a
some
long
friends
time."
that are on a similar journey too, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that like I was going to like do all the things and like really get after it, but our year was just so busy. But a few things that I have done is I like invested in like a teeth whitening membership. So, like, I
Ooh,
go into, like, a place, and I don't do it as much as I should, but, like, I go in, and you get to, like, lay there in a comfy chair for, like, an hour, and I just get, like, sit on my phone.
it's
It's,
a
like, almost like being at
vacation.
the dentist. It's a vacation. So that's been fun. I've been doing well with that, and then, yeah, I guess, I've been, like, good about, like, my hair journey. I've been, like, scalp oiling. Is that what it's called?
Hmm,
Like, where
okay.
you add, like, rosemary oil to your scalp, and then you, like, really try to, like, get it in there with this brush thingy. If you're on
I think I've
YouTube,
seen
like,
that
you
on,
kinda
like,
see what I'm doing.
TikTok.
Yeah. I'm trying to be better about, like, the hair masks and, like, you know, all that stuff. Um, the working out, I need to be better at. Still trying to figure out, like, what that's gonna look like. Is it going to look like something at home, or is it going to look like something at a gym that has childcare, which sadly there's not a lot around me that do? And then or is it
Do you have,
gonna
like, a
look like
Lifetime Fitness or something like that? Like a big gym?
we do it's, I would say, 20 minutes from my house.
Oh, that's, like,
It's
just
not
far
around
enough
the
where it's like yeah.
and it's expensive.
Mhm.
'Cause,
I
like, the
know.
way that Lifetime works is, like and it's crazy because not all Lifetimes are the same. So, like, friends of mine that live in Tennessee, their family joins a Lifetime, and, like, I told them what it would be like for our family to join Lifetime, and the rates were, like, astronomically higher. So, like, for so they have 2 kids, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but I feel like it was, like, half. And for Paul and I to join Lifetime plus, like, each of the kids, like, if we're gonna take all the kids and, like, do all that kinda thing, um, or have that option for them to, like, also be able to be watched in there, it was gonna be, like, $600 a month. Yeah.
So, before I put Katie in daycare last August, I was seriously considering joining Lifetime, and then we have another one local to us that's, like, the same thing, like, same level,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Okay, well, I could at least go and get" this one had I think it was either 2.5 or 3 hours of childcare available per day. And I remember for me just me and Katie, it was gonna be, like, 270 a month, because the child has to have
Okay.
their own membership, that's how that
Yeah.
works, for those of you who are not familiar. So, yeah, I feel like 270 a month, but, like, for 2.5 to 3 hours a day felt maybe, like, not worth it, but is there an option where you could just only have you and Levi?
Yeah, but with Lifetime, with that age range, they'll only do up to 90 minutes.
Oh, well, that's enough
Yeah.
for a workout. If you weren't gonna
That's
try
a
to go there and, like, bring your laptop, I feel like you could get in I don't know,
yeah.
maybe.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's a
So I
bummer.
don't know. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out and see what we wanna do there, But for now, I'll just try to get back into walking and podcasting and chatting with friends on the phone.
I like it. It's
So,
multitasking. I did, you know what? For a few months, I did do reformer Pilates. Like I did that maybe
yes,
like
I was going to ask you, are you still doing that?
no. So I did that from like
Why?
March, April, May. And then the kids were out of school, obviously, June, July, and then
Yeah.
into August. So I put my membership on pause and then I started again from August, September. And then in September, I realized like I don't have the time right now to like actually utilize it. It
Yeah.
was so expensive. It was like $250 a
Was
month.
it?
Yeah, I bought the
Yeah.
unlimited though, like because I was like, it's not worth it for me to just go once a week or twice a week. So, like once a week would have been like 120 a month, and then twice a week would have been like 170 a month or something like that. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna pay for the most expensive, and I can go 5 days a week, which I was doing in the spring before school let out. But I think, well, I first of all I got out of the habit of going, and then it was really hard for me to like find the same level of momentum of like
Mhm.
desire and enjoyment of attending. And then also, I mean, like I am a little behind on like editing, not behind. I'm not behind. Everyone's getting their films in their contracted time of their 12 weeks, like blah blah blah. But I have a lot of stuff to edit and I have a lot of work
Mhm.
and we're getting ready for this new course coming out very soon and like I just feel like unfortunately, like, devoting, like, 75 minutes a day to that, it was causing more anxiety than
Yeah.
than it was worth.
That's so real. Yeah.
Yeah,
Where you're like
but
thinking about it while you're on the reformer about like how much time how much you could be getting done while you're not on this
yeah,
reformer.
100%. Yeah, so it was just not worth it. I mean, it's not to say I wouldn't, like, rejoin again in the future or maybe or I don't really know, but right now I'm
Yeah.
like, I have been not doing any form of exercise outside of walking, but and I can feel it, like, it doesn't feel as good. Like, I was feeling really, really good this spring.
Yeah. All right. We'll get it together in 2025. We'll figure it out.
You and me. We'll just, like, have Zoom workout dates.
Yes. Yeah. Kill two birds with one stone. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else? Is that
Anything
it?
else?
It was a good year. I
Yeah.
am glad to like not have any more babies. Am I saying that out loud right now? I think I am. I'm just yeah, I'm just glad to not have any more babies because navigating a wedding season while having a baby, I've done it 3 times. It's been hard each time. It's almost gotten harder each time, honestly. Not to,
'Cause you have
like, give
other
anyone
kids too.
listening. Yeah, because you have other kids.
Yeah.
And
But it's possible. So, like, if you're like, "I have
yes.
this business and I don't know if I wanna have kids or not," like, it's only one season where it's, like, crazy hard, and then it does get easier. Like, I just wanna, like, not deter people from, like, wanting to pursue having a family because it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
It's super worth it.
No,
If
it
that's
really
something you
is.
wanna do. Yeah.
And you can do it. You can definitely do it. And I feel like there's something about having kids, and if you choose not to have kids, that's okay too. But I will say that for me personally, having kids made me so much more intentional about my business, and my business scaled to new heights while having the kids. And that was really cool because I remember getting pregnant and like Micah was like well, he was a surprise, not an accident. um, and I was like, our business is over. Like, it's all done for us. And I'm like, no, it's like, honestly, I wish I could go back and like tell 2019 Kelly, like, no, this is like just the beginning. Like, these first 9 years were almost just like let's,
It's a
I
warm
was
up.
gonna like say a bad word. Like, but then, have you heard of that thing where it's like, you could like F around and find out?
Yeah.
It was, like, kinda like that. I don't know if that's, like, the right, like, the
You
right
effed
thing, but,
around and
like,
then you found
I don't
out.
know, it was like we were yeah, and then it was just kinda like, well, business is so much better now because we're intentional about our time, and we're intentional with a strategy, and I'm just so much more, I don't know, I'm just rambling like crazy, you guys. Very much sipping and telling right now, and I'm out of coffee, and I think that's why.
You have all of the energy that I need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Okay. I will cut us I will cut us loose. You guys, I hope your year has been equally as good. I would encourage you to have this same conversation that Kelly and I just had with somebody in your life, whether that be a partner or a spouse or your parents or a sibling or a best friend or a business partner or with somebody that you've met in the industry online, like schedule a little Zoom date and like just have like an end of the year like chit chat. And if you really have no one else to talk to, Kelly and I would love to chat with you. Like send us a DM, send us a voice memo, and we'll talk about your year with you as well. Because I think it's important for everyone to do this. And then definitely, I know, sorry, not all of our people have kids, so forgive us. But I know for those of you who do have kids, a lot of them are on winter break right now, so you may have a different routine right now. But we really hope that you tune in to next week because we will be talking about plans for the future and all those things. And I think it's really helpful to get our minds, in the right place to head into 2025 in a really powerful position mentally and emotionally. I feel like that can really set you up for success. And so make sure you tune in to next week.
All right, guys. Well said, Taylor. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thank you for joining us in today's conversation. Please help us reach more filmmakers and photographers like you by taking a screenshot and sharing it to social media. And don't forget to tag us at The Level Up Co.
And join us again next week, same time, same place, as we continue to level up the industry together.